second part, it's about musica pratica. So it starts with Saint John Baptist hymn, then other examples, and then we arrive to counterpoint. A section about counterpoint probably is the third part. No, here. He gives a lot of rules. Some of them can seem without, very strange. And but the most important, interesting thing is that beside rules, after the rules, we have a lot of examples.
Okay.
For example, let's see this. No. These are 4 notes. Ligatures, ligature. Ligature. Ok. Esempio del contrappunto di minime tutte consonanze. Play the tenor and the soprano. These are two voice example. I mean, tenor with the soprano or the tenor with the bass.
Okay. Let me reach my keyboard.
Okay.
So it's
soprano clef in the top
soprano clef,
and tenor clef in the middle.
The cantus is on the tenor.
The cantus firmus is in the tenor, exactly.
Okay.
Canto fermo.
Okay. No, here.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I cannot hear very clearly your keyboard. I'll play it. I'll play it one time.
Yes.
Sol, re, sol, re, sol,
I cannot understand.
re, mi, la, sol, fa, mi, sol, mi, fa, sol. This way.
Okay.
Now,
maybe you can hear better it when
yes.
I have the...
Exactly. Much better. Okay. Now, let's come back and let's see what are the rules for two-part count, two note against two, two note against two, two note against one by Berardi. So, he says, can you read Italian?
Yes, a little bit.
Ok, contrappunto di minime, tutte consonanze con le sue regole ed esempi. Capitolo 24. Read the first line. Nel capitolo, try.
Nel capitolo 8 ho detto with 3T.
Yes, okay. Ho detto, yes, it's a mistake, but it's not usually in Italian, ok.
Che il contrappunto diminuto è quello che non solo...
Sì, solo,
che non
yes.
Sorry.
Solo, it's the ancient S.
Yes. Che non solo ha le parti composte di consonanza, ma ancora di dissonanze, ponendosi in esso ogni sorte di figure cantabili.
Wait, ogni sorte?
Sorte di figure cantabili secondo arbitrio.
No, l'arbitrio.
Secondo l'arbitrio del compositore.
Yes.
Essendo ordinate le sue modulazioni.
Yeah. Even in Latin it's said modulazioni. I mean, TE is S. Modulazioni, yes.
Intervalli o
spazi, spaces.
Ok, spazi cantabili e le figure numerate sorto la misura del suo tempo.
Ok, did you understand? Not so much. Ok, so nel capitolo 8, in chapter 8, ho detto, yes. I said that counterpoint, contrappunto diminuito, diminished counterpoint, is
Okay.
that one, quello that one, which do not have only consonances but even dissonances. They used to
Okay.
to distinguish simple counterpoint with only consonances, with counterpoint diminuito, diminished counterpoint with dissonances, ok? E ponendosi in esso ogni sorta di figure cantabili. What does it mean? Why do we have all these dissonances? Because in diminished counterpoint we put ogni sorte, so different figure cantabili. I mean, figure cantabili are the figures, brevis, semibrevis, minima, semiminima, not only one note against one, okay, as in cantus firmus, but a lot of figures, cantus figuratus, that's why. Secondo, l'arbitrio del compositore. L'arbitrio is the willing, according to the willing of the composer. Essendo ordinate le sue modulazioni per intervalli o spazi cantabili, so this is, I mean, not necessary, since the composer moves the voices according to the intervals o spazi cantabili, so the spaces on the staff, and the figures numerate, so ordered, organized under the misura del tempo, means the tactus, the mensura and the tactus, okay?
Yes,
So,
okay.
to do the counterpoint of minime, so two notes against one, che siano tutte consonanze, this is very important because Berardi does not allow in his rules any dissonance in two against one, only consonances. You have to observe, and now we have the rules. Primo, rule number one, read, si come prima. Yes, read it.
Sorry. Si come prima si considerava una semibreve contro un'altra del contrappunto semplice, in questo di minime se ne considerano due contro una.
Exactly. In the previous exercise, in the previous species, species of simple counterpoint, contrappunto semplice, we use one note against one. Here, two notes against one. So, played example, we have, so this clef is just, is the soprano clef, yes, it's in the press that is not so clear.
And here, the second clef
is a tenor clef, as you can see.
Okay.
Okay, then secondo, so second rule here, read it.
So only consonants is in second species. So
according to Berardi, yes. Then if you look at music, you can even find some dissonances when they are passing tones, so approached and left by stepwise motion. But in terms of rules and exercises, as I told you, let's observe the most strict situation. Then when you compose a piece, you can be more free. Even when you analyze a piece, consider that there are other elements.
Okay. It's true that in France, at least, when we study counterpoint, we are almost referring always to fugues. And maybe it's not really accurate.
I didn't understand what you said at the beginning. It's true that
in France,
in France,
when we study counterpoint, fugues is very important. So maybe it's not very accurate in counterpoint. I don't know. What do you think of?
Yeah, I think that what you say is can be true. Consider that the Fuchs treatise is very late compared to the Renaissance, and Fuchs had a different education than an Italian education. This is Berardi is Italian, so there may be some differences. For Renaissance counterpoint, I would trust more Berardi than Fuchs and than the original music of the Renaissance.
Yes, of course, yes.
Si osserveranno
peraltro le medesime, sì, ok.
Medeme means the medesime, so the same rule.
Yes. Medesime regole del contrappunto semplice, cioè di nota contra nota.
Okay, so all the rules that you studied in the nota contra nota, in simple counterpoint, are still valid. You have to observe them. Terzo.
Si sfuggiranno l'unisoni e l'ottave e volendole usare
si devono
si devono porre nell'alzare della battuta, ovvero legate, e mai nel not si
e mai nella posizione
nella,
della mano.
nella posizione della mano. Sì.
You know, if a modern musician say nella posizione della mano, which means in the position of the hand, what does it mean? In the downbeat. So you have
okay.
to sfuggire. Sfuggire means to avoid, to do not do unisons and octaves. Berardi is very, how can I say? It's very maniacal about this. You do not have to use unisons and octaves, as I said before. But if you want to use them, you have to put them in the upbeat. So, just to be clear, in the upbeat here, in the alzare della mano, in the rise of the hand. Imagine the tactus.
Okay.
The concept of the tactus was really important in the Renaissance. So in the upbeat, ovvero legate or tied, because Berardi allows tied notes, not dissonances, both consonances, but tied notes in these pieces. Now we'll play this example. Ovvero legate e mai, so never in the downbeat. So you cannot use unisons and octaves. Now let's make a clause. Let's make a precisation about this. We'll use them in the cadences of our exercises and at the beginning and at the end. But besides these beginning cadences and the end, you won't use unisons and octaves. But if you want to use them, only in the upbeat in these pieces. So play the following example, this one. Okay, and tell me the intervals. Let's decode the intervals.
Okay. So
you still have soprano and tenor clef.
Okay. Unison. Third,
stop, because they are simple, they are short example. Cattivo, what does it mean?
Okay. Bad?
Yes, exactly. Why?
Because there is a unison on the downbeats, but if it's the beginning, it's okay, no?
Yes, okay, but here they are isolated examples. So he says.
Okay, so yes, downbeat unison.
Exactly. Downbeat to there is a unison on the downbeat. Exactly. That's yes. Why. Okay. Then second example. Played. In this case, so we have
unison.
3-1, and there is buo. What does it mean?
Buono.
Buono. Okay. Next bar. So next example, which is actually here. Yeah. So one more thing, when you approach an ancient book like this, as you can see, this is not something which makes a sense. This line. Why? Because they are separated example.
Yes.
So number 3, play it. No. Okay, tell me the intervals.
So 3, 1, tied 3/3.
Yes. Then
5th.
Yes. So this is okay because it's ligata, which means tied. 1, so the unison is on the upbeat, and then it is tied to another consonant. So that's okay. It's ligata. As it says, volendole usare, if you want to use unison and octaves, you can use them on the upbeat, ovvero yes. Or tied, even tied.
I got it. Okay. But here the unison is on the upbeat, so it's even if it were not tied, it would be good.
Yes. Then we see this is another example. It should be as you said. Next yes, one. Okay. Cattivo.
So 8.
Okay. Why is bad?
12.
Yes, that's right. 12.
Cattivo because of the octave on the downbeat.
Exactly. Next example, buono.
So 10.
No. The last example is
Okay.
chord. Yes, they are even like two
So,
separated. Yes.
10, 8,
So on the upbeat, and then 10, 8 on the upbeat,
10,
and tied.
8, 10, 8.
Exactly. This is like the first three bars, the same thing, but with the 8 instead of
Yes.
the octave. Okay.
But would it be okay to have octave or unison tied, but on the downbeat? Downbeat unison octave, but tight.
Yes, I know what you say. The point is that this piece is not about tied notes. So mm, maybe the octave can sound good, but the unison, I don't know. We have to. So according to Berardi, this is not clear. We have,
Okay.
we can now check this by the examples. Okay.
Okay.
I do not remember all of them, so let's play them
Okay.
and let's see what you say.
Quarto.
Quarto. Of course,
Si
in
deve
music,
sfuggire.
when you compose a piece, of course, if it makes sense, you can do it. Why not? But in terms of rules, I do not remember Berardi what says about this. Let's see. Quarto.
Si deve sfuggire di dare la sesta maggiore nella posizione e volendola fare, usare.
Yes.
Si deve sincopare nell'alzare della mano.
Yes. What does it mean?
If you have to leave from if you have to not run away from
No. Sfuggire in this Italian, in ancient Italian, does not mean to escape. Means to avoid. You have to avoid to put this major sixth nella posizione, which means on the downbeat. So don't put the major sixth on the downbeat. And then he says, e volendola fare, but if you want to do it, it's always a game of this. You do not have to do this. But if you want to do it, you have to use it syncopated. So Berardi does not allow the major six on the downbeat, but if you want to use the major six, tied, syncopated, this way. So play this example.
Okay. So sixth. So it's bad because 6/5, sixth major six on downbeat.
Exactly. Next example. Next. Here is good because it's tied. The major six is tied to another fifth then. Okay. Quinto.
Okay. Sorry. Would it be good? Sorry. Maybe it's not in the example, but if it weren't tied, it would be good or no?
Tied, yes, is a buono.
But not with no ligature. Because it's not on the
okay, you mean on the upbeat, but not tied.
Yes.
Berardi, actually, so according to Berardi, he says that you have to do it. So, volendola fare, si deve sincopare. So, if you want to do it, you have to tie it in the upbeat. According to this rule, no. Then consider always the context. If you do something like this and it sounds good, even because if you have 6, 5, D, A, Re, Mi, Fa, of course, it's something that you can find in music.
Okay.
I mean, so don't tell me that this is something you cannot find in the musical repertoire. I mean, this is 5, 6, and 6. Major 6 and minor 6. I mean, it's something you can find in music. Re, mi, fa. So, So according to this rule, no, but we can use it, of course.
Ok.
Okay.
So, quinto.
Quinto,
Non si deve adoperare la semibreve nel battere della mano, ma bensì nell'alzare, ovvero sincopata, poiché
così,
poiché così non viene considerata come semibreve, ma bensì come due minime.
Yeah, he's saying this is very basic. If you do this, it's the first pieces what you did before. If you want to use a semibrevis, you have to use it syncopated, tied. I mean, nothing more of what. So it's not introducing more anything more. It's just saying if you want to use a semibrevis, use it syncopated. Just this.
I don't understand the rule.
Okay, you do not understand because you are not thinking that in the Renaissance they used to read music written this way.
Yes.
So these two notes are the semibrevis. So if you want to use the semibreve, you do not have to use it starting on the downbeat, because otherwise you have one note against one, but starting on the upbeat, up and down.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Yes, it's just a consideration which, is superfluous.
Okay.
But for the ancient musicians who is used to read this way, may be useful. Now, the last, so sixth.
Non si deve passare, eccettuato nel principio, mezza pausa, accio la modulazione del contrappunto non resti vacua e priva d'armonia.
You do not have to put any rest, any minimal rest, because otherwise the modulazione, so the melody of the counterpoint, becomes vuota, vacua, vacuum, and without any harmony. You can only put the rest at the beginning.
Okay.
So, something you already know. Cattivo, buono, this way because it's at the beginning, as you can see. And even the second example is good because it's at the beginning.
Okay.
Settimo, go.
Si dà per regola infallibile.
Yes, infallibile means...
yes, always true.
Yes, exactly.
Che le due minime in una medesima corda o casella...
Casella means battuta, bar.
Ok. Casella devono essere due consonanze di diverse specie, poiché facendosi altrimenti, oltre l'essere nota contro nota, non ci è variazione alcuna d'armonia.
So he's saying that you cannot repeat the same note within the bar.
Okay.
Otherwise, you do not have any, so you have the same harmony. So you cannot do the first examples. Only the last one is buono because you change the harmony from the sixth to the third. When he says specie di consonanze, he means that the sixth is a different species than the third. Here you have 5, 5, 3, 3, okay? But you need different species. Ottavo.
Non si deve usare la semibreve con il punto, benché sincopi, stante che in detta non vi sia variazione d'armonia o consonanze, come ho detto di sopra nella regola settima.
Yeah, you do not have to put the semibreves with a dot, but you already know this. They are superfluous.
Yes.
Okay. 9.
Per ultimo, si osservi più che sia possibile di procedere da una consonanza ad un'altra con la più vicina, come si è detto altrove.
Yes, so the last rule is a generic suggestion. Do your best to move more stepwise as possible from a consonant to another consonant, which is the closest one, as he already said in the first part. Okay, And then we have the two last examples. Two parts and two parts. Play the first one and then play the second one. So now canto fermo in the tenor and contrapunto con la parte superiore with the higher part in the soprano clef. Okay, let's decode now the intervals. Tell me what they are. For example, 8.
So, 8. 5th.
Mm-hmm.
10.
10.
8. 5th. 6. Major 6, yes. 5. Octave, yes. 6, minor 6.
No, there's a 5th.
Oh no, 5th, okay, yes. Octave. 10. 10th. Octave. 5th. Major 6. Octave.
Yes, exactly. Because we have the cadence in this point. Nice. Now, play the other example, tenor with bass.
Okay. So. No, sorry.
Yes, yes.
No, it's good.
It's a 5th. Okay. Now let's decode the intervals. The first one is a 5th. Very important thing. You asked me before, but at the beginning we have to put the octave or the unison on the downbeat. Yes. Here is the example. The octave can be in the downbeat at the beginning. Okay?
Yes.
So the answer is here in this example.
Okay.
So?
5. So then third.
Mm-hmm.
5th.
Yes.
6. Minor 6.
Minor 6.
5. So tied with 6.
Yes. What's this? Major 6. Major 6.
Five.
Okay. For example, here we have a case where the major 6 is on the downbeat. I mean, it seems that Berardi is moving against himself, as you can see.
Yes, but it's tied, so maybe it's not as.
Yes, but it's in the downbeat. So as you can see, these rules can be important, but then even here. Okay,
Yes.
continue. Let's continue.
Okay.
5.
So 10.
10.
Octave.
Octave.
5th.
5th.
3. 3rd. 5th. 3rd. And unison.
Exactly. Perfect. And these are the rules about two-part counterpoint that you can use to do the other exercises of two-part counterpoints. Actually,
Okay.
what we can do next time consists in reading the other rules about one note against one, because there are interesting things, very interesting things. in general.
Of course, yes.
Okay, before doing ligatures, so tight notes. Because Berardi, before Fuchs, after 2 notes against 1, does 4 notes against 1. Berardi, ligatures, tight.
Yes.
And only then 4 notes against cadences, and then 4 notes against 1. Another very curious thing about Berardi is that he provides another kind of counterpoint, which is so here 4 notes against 1, okay. Then there's another one with chrome, in other words 8 notes against 1.
Okay.
Which is even interesting for instrumental music, you know.
Yes.
For a violin violin sonata in the style of Fontana, Pandolfi, Mealli, that period. Okay.
I have bad news for you. In the Renaissance, transcriptions didn't exist. All musici pratici, indeed, read music directly from the original sources. They knew how to read ligatures and recognize the correct values, brevis, longa, semibrevis, maxima. They could accurately interpret all the mensurations, perfect, imperfect, tempus, modus, prolazio. They knew how to beat the tactus in accordance with the mensurations and the proportions. So, modern transcriptions are unnecessary. Yes, they can be useful if you want to study the counterpoint and the vertical setting. But do you really have the audacity to claim you perform Renaissance music and are an expert, yet you don't know how to read the notation used by the Renaissance musicians? Fortunately, today you too can learn how to read white mensural notation directly from the original sources without relying anymore on any transcriptions nonsense. I've prepared an entire course of 90 practical lessons for you where I'll teach you gradually how to read figures and rests, how to correctly interpret mensurations in the ancient and in the modern system, how to correctly beat the tactus according to the mensuration and the proportions, how to correctly perform imperfect mensurations and perfect mensurations with all the rules of perfections and imperfections, how to correctly beat the proportions, even the most unexpected ones, like 5-3. How to correctly align the syllables of the text to the notes of the piece, and much more. 90 practical lessons, 200 pages of examples and exercises from the original sources, no transcriptions, only examples from the original sources. So, no more excuses to don't learn white mensural notation, sign up for the course, discover all the topics and the content. Purchase the course and start learning white mensural notation today. Click here.